Hello, happy bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Ken Bozak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Ken Bozak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. 'Cause I'm Ken bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get your Ken Bozak.
And we're live, bros.
Hey, what's up?
I know it's a different setup. Our get. Wait, I think I might be able to switch. That might look. I don't know. But it's not side by side today, so it might look a little weird for the live stream.
I like it though. It's nice.
I'm just this little man at the top.
No, I put you on the bottom now. I felt some type of way
no
about me not being
idea
on the top of my own show.
Yeah, it's weird. The ego kicked in.
Yeah, ego totally kicked in.
I gotta be on.
All right, I want to say shout out to the Wolf Pack. Thanks for joining the live stream. Everybody for tuning in. Mac Kenzie, appreciate it. Nicholas in the chat, thanks for stopping by. Says it's an interesting project. Also, Colonize Mars, so many projects out here right now. Yes, dude, and I think a lot of opportunities for collaborations. We got Cure Warrant. It says any NFT drops like yesterday with Stash. Oh man, keep an eye out for drops. They're happening all the time.
All day, baby.
Yeah. Ballas, how goes it? Thanks for tuning in. He says he wants to know how he gets a beard like you and me, Tristan.
Ooh.
What's your secret?
Time. It takes time. And, COVID helps as well. No barbering.
Like having COVID or just like experiencing that?
No, you don't want to get COVID. You just need to be in some kind of lockdown.
Never saying like COVID makes your hair grow. It's like Rogaine or something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, don't say that to bald people. They'll be out here getting COVID on purpose.
Coughing on their hands, rubbing
Bring
their
it.
hands.
Bring it.
How goes it, Nick Shepard in the chat? I'll see you soon, bro. Looking forward to the photo shoot. Zombie 3D in the chat on Twitch. Wow, we got Dogecoin on Twitch. We got Twitch people. Twitch coin. Steve R82 in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. And Crypto Quarter Crawler. How goes it? So this is an AMA we're going to be doing, but before that, I'm going to let Tristan have the time to talk a little bit about the Wolves of Wall Street and a little bit about what's going on, and then we'll open the floor up to anybody in the chat. Whoever asks the best question, in my opinion, I'll send you an NFT. So everything looks good on the live stream. I've been filibustering long enough to make sure the internet quality is good. Yo, D&B, thanks for tuning in. Let's go ahead and get right to it. Tristan, if you want to screen share and show people a little bit around, go for it.
Yeah, so I mean, we've been just a little intro. We've been obviously beavering away, hard at it, developing and building out our farming and staking. And one of the things that we're looking at is, wow, ETH is super expensive, and wow, gas is like ridiculous at the moment. So we've actually had to kind of like re-look at that whole process of even like working with Yearn. So we're going to be doing lending with Yearn. We found that gas was coming up to something like $300 just to get involved. You know, it doesn't matter if you're doing $5 or 50,000, 300 gas. And obviously for you know, those who want to, on the low end of the spectrum, who want to get involved, which we want people all to get involved, because, you know, that's the whole point of it. We don't want it to be, you know, just for the high earners out there. So we've actually been looking at the idea of playing to our strengths. We're part of the pack. We have pack mentality. So we're looking at having batch transactions for getting involved with lending with Yearn. So we've actually looked at creating a process that will allow us to do that. I can share my screen and hopefully we can just show that. So
when you say create, it's an in-house solution to this.
Correct.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
So we're basically developing a bespoke solution that will allow it to be cost effective. So let me just see if I can grab my tab.
Steve R82 in the chat said, "Yo, sorry if you're on ETH, no go for me. Binance Smart Chain way cheaper." Steve R82, we covered this last week when we talked to Tristan. These blockchains that are using NFTs are not sophisticated enough yet to handle the intelligent smart contracts that Wolves of Wall Street are taking advantage of on Ethereum. Some NFTs are misusing Ethereum, but NFTs like these that are actually more smart contracts than art, it makes sense right now for Ethereum.
Absolutely. Yeah, you just have to be using
so this is it.
It's
yeah.
All right, there we go. It looks like everybody can see your screen now, bro.
Cool. So the idea is when we are going to be going, let's see, we will go. Yeah, so the idea with the Ethereum on DeFi. So we are a DeFi with NFT and SFT gamification and usability and use cases on top of DeFi to make it visual and whatnot. So that's obviously why the big reason why we're on ETH. And yes, we're already looking at L2 solutions as well. Great. But in the meantime, we still have to solve the gas issue. And that is something that we are looking at. So what we are going to be doing is when you get into, let's see, yeah, we'll be choosing Yearn. So if we want to go and take our boy's SFT crypto portfolio and we want to lend with him. So we're going to click the lend with Bryant Barkley. What that will do is take us to the Yearn curve, and this is what we'll be using for our lending DeFi, and that actually has 4 different pools that we can invest in. So we've got DAI, USDT, USDC, and True US Dollar.
So why would we want to choose one over the other? Is there any difference, or is it just because of the different options? Is there any advantages or disadvantages, or are they all even playing fields?
They're even playing fields because they're actually, the curve Yearn pool is actually one large pool. But when we get to it, people will have different, they will have different, stable coins. So they won't have to switch out one and then get another. They can actually invest in 1 or 2 or 3 as they wish, essentially. It gives them flexibility to basically invest in one or all.
Well, how flexible is it? The first question we have is from Hammer Speakeasy asking, what's the minimum investment for a small fish? So are there any puppies?
Yeah, that's what we want. This is why we're looking at the gas optimization. And there is no minimum. Of course, there's no minimum, but and we want the small fishes as well. So the thing with the whole NFTs and SFTs on top of DeFi is the big thing. Is DeFi on its own is expensive because you've got to pay gas costs, and that's just to make an investment or pull out your investment and whatnot. So you can often be getting rewards, and you burn up 70% of your rewards with the gas transactions. Okay. That's no bueno. So what we're doing is, apart from having a visualization of the DeFi process and the fun element, the gamification element, we're actually adding a layer of value on top of your investment. So for instance, if I come here and I'm now going to choose on this page, I'm going to choose an NFT, which is going to be my essentially my wallet that will go into my cryptofolio. So it's going to be a NFT that has rarity. So it'll be, let's say, 1 of 100, and there'll be only 8 of them. So 8 different designs. Now these are placeholder designs, but the final designs will all be unique, each one, and they'll have rarity. So the idea there is you are creating a value on top of your investments. If you only invest $100 and you buy an NFT here, you're going to have this NFT and your underlying lending value. And this could far outstrip the rewards you would get from just pure lending value of $100. So, this could sell out, and suddenly you're sitting on maybe $1,000 worth of NFT plus your underlying value.
Right.
And now that makes financial sense. It's like, great, we're giving layers of value, on top of it. And then this NFT will be locked in your SFT. And then now
And this is where the internet starts to become a problem. So I'm going to fill in the dead space with, if you're familiar with the Wax or Phantasma blockchains, basically it's, we lost you for a second. So I'm just trying to recap a little bit for the audience. Let them know that, it's somewhat familiar to nesting or infusing. So you could put wax into one of your wax NFTs. So you could put like $100 worth of wax into one of your wax NFTs, and now it's essentially worth 100 wax, and you could loan out that 100 wax NFT as 100 wax, or the NFT itself could actually gain more value than the wax that it's backed by. Absolutely. So there are levels of gamification to this already. It's just what Wolves of Wall Street are doing are taking it to a more financial gamification. And what you see in ghostmarket.io is those NFTs that you could put currencies inside of, you could actually take those NFTs and put them inside of other NFTs. So that would be sort of like your C-Folio.
Yeah, like the nesting thing. Like
yeah, the Makrishka doll NFT. So that's sort of what Wolves of Wall Street are doing, is like the Makrishka doll thing that we're doing on Wax and we're doing on Phantasma, but the way that they're doing it now, it's quite different, with the financial side of it being the focus point.
Yeah, the value proposition to the future is so high to the upside, considering that the currency that it's based on just alone is going up in value, and then you add all the utility attached to it, all the gamification aspects. I mean, it's very interesting that we've never had products like this.
Not individuals, but companies, when they go out and ask for loans, they get it based on the projections of the business's earnings in the future. Yeah. And that's sort of like having your NFT say, hey, it might be worth more in the future. It's backed by X amount now. And just wanted to kind of give something to the audience while there was dead space because we lost you. But go on, try, Tristan.
That's all good, man. And what you're saying is absolutely bang on. I'll get to that element of it as well.
That's awesome.
When we are looking at the Yearn, so here we'll be investing in Yearn, and you've got your ability to basically add as much as you want from the 4 different stable coins there. And you'll see below here we have this pack strength. So normally we would just have an investment button, and you'd have to go ahead and pay $300 gas to interact with the Yearn protocol. And what we're doing instead is we have 2 options. We have a smart invest, or we have a direct invest. And the idea there is, if you have a smart invest, you choose that, what you will be doing is you will essentially be put into a pack, which is essentially a queue of investors who have made an investment, but the transaction will not have been fired.
So you're queuing into a batch.
Exactly. And you'll pay a small nominal amount of gas, which would be completely affordable and normal, but that gas would in fact be collected and would essentially be shown here, so that we are collecting gas to a point that if someone then makes a direct investment, they will get all of that gas back, and they pay for the one batch transaction for everyone. but they get the refund of gas.
Tristan,
So
you do realize Rarible is going to steal your idea, right?
For sure.
yeah.
Okay, just letting you know, Rarible needs this.
So
Yeah.
you can't like.
I know,
patent
and
actual
the thing is, it's
concept.
such a, it's a simple idea, but goddamn, I don't know anyone that's doing it, and it's like it needs to be done.
Well, it's
and,
beautiful.
yeah.
It's beautifully simplistic in the sense that it's a very sought after utility of people like that would want to do. Like I said, as soon as I saw you explaining this, like Rarible, yeah, I have so many different artists that I could group up with my friends and we could batch transact art together, saving gas fees. I think the pack mentality that you're going to start is going to be something that's copied and paste across different platforms.
Yeah, that's the miracle of
And
DeFi also, that you can just like have this freedom to kind of do very cool things with financial
Dogecoin
products.
kid said patent it. No, we got to give this away, man. Or
I don't think you can patent like
Hey,
a concept here,
Ethereum.
which is unfortunate.
But this is it. And it fits that's what's so beautiful about it. It fits our whole theme. We're part of the pack, and we're going to invest as a pack. So it's a really cool thing. So yeah, this, however, has meant that we're having to redo a lot of kind of how this works with the contracts and the Solidity contracts. So it is going to cause us probably some delays on our initial self-imposed deadline of launching it, because we also want to get this all passed through our auditors, which we've booked in, but we're going to have to push that back a bit because there's a bunch more code that is making sure that this can happen and whatnot. So it's going to be worth it, because
right. Well,
no
we
one
mentioned
wants
this last week, Tristan. Projects like yours that I can't point to anybody doing something similar. So I would assume delays should be expected, especially when you're sort of doing something nuanced and disruptive. This is you're kind of setting the roadmap. You don't have anybody to look at to see how those could go or do, and so you're setting that example here. And I think on behalf of the community, we forgive you for the delay, because I know we want it to go right instead of fast and wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, good God, yeah. I mean, the main thing is like, we're just like, what we're doing, we're innovating within innovation, and we've already got innovation with the SFT crypto folios and that, and now we're innovating on how gas transactions and how investment can happen. And that's just gonna, we want to get that perfection, and we want to have basically the security and everything involved, because that's what we believe in. So it's not really.
So we left off
not
on
even
the pack strength here. So what's next?
So this pack strength is effectively telling you how many people have queued up, and that will impact how much gas has been saved, and that will impact how much gas this person gets back if they do a direct investment. And then that balance will then just play out as people invest. But yeah, once you've done that, obviously we've got a little bit of info if you need it. It'll pop up there explaining what all that good stuff is about. And yeah, once you've done that, then you will be earning, and you will have your NFT there. You'll be earning here. You'll be able to see that, and you'll have your kind of regular buttons, which will allow you to claim rewards and whatnot. Now, a couple of the buttons which will be unique to us is the one which is lock for sale, which is one of our key USPs, which is essentially you can have your NFT in here, which is earning yield. You'll be earning WOWs rewards within this C-folio, and you can just go ahead and lock that for sale. So you can lock up all the rewards, all the NFT, your underlying value, which is the stable coin value within that, and you can sell the entire package as one entity. And you will be able to do that in OpenSea and whatnot. And that's going to be a really big thing, because that touches on your idea of collateral lending, and it's come up in our community as well. And we think it's a really good idea, which is essentially we will eventually be able to have layers of locked SFTs inside another SFT. So if you can think about it, it'll be a bit like a CDO, which is a collateralized debt obligation, except that it will be an SFT that can have yield earning guaranteed rewards. You have another SFT which will have a different kind of, maybe it would be liquidity pool staking, which would be earning rewards. And then that can be locked up as one entity and sold as basically, or used as a lending collateral.
Wow.
With guaranteed rewards. So you know that no one's going to flunk out the rewards because it's just guaranteed by the contract. And that whole entity can be used as what is called a CDO for lending. And even better, we've obviously partnered up with Cover. That all can be read. All the contracts within that can be read, and that can be insured. So you could just literally get a quote of the entire CDO or SFT and get a quote to get that insured in one hit with all the contracts that are involved with it, which is something that Cover have just launched with their version 2. So it's really cool idea.
It sounds like you put a CD inside of a bond, or a bond inside of a CD.
Yeah, I was sitting here trying to figure out like how.
What legacy terminology would apply to this? But it's hard to relate.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just the idea, and it touches on the idea of like the NFTs have value, and the underlying value is there to be lent against. That's what Ruler are doing. So we're looking at, with one of our advisors, DeFi Ted, he's working with Ruler, and that's going to be one of our people that we're going to hook up with that will allow us to do that lending and valuation. So again, it's just, all these good things of what can happen with a C-folio. So it's pretty damn cool. And then one of the big areas of the actual C-folio is the management of it. So this C-folio transfer manager is where you will be able to manage your C-folios and the content within your C-folios.
I love that it looks like a Magic the Gathering board.
Yeah, it looks like Magic. It's super cool.
So you've got your C-folios up top, and the direction is always downwards. So you've got your C-folio, then you've got the contents within that C-folio. So you could have your yield there. This wouldn't be there because this is a boys, but I've just done that because we need it as an entity within the actual framework. But essentially, you'll be able to transfer this out into your open wallet. But not only the entirety, you could do half of it. You can just click that USDC, say, okay, I want 100% of that USDC out into my wallet, and I want to then use that and sell it. Because what will happen there, when you do that, it's going to mint you a new NFT. But remember, the NFTs are 1 of 100. So what it's going to actually do is you will have to pay for a new NFT, but it's rarity, so it's 1 of 100. And that NFT will then hold your US value, USDC value. And you'll be able to then sell that NFT, say, hey guys, buy this, boom, it's rarity, blah, blah, blah. So you'll have the value of the NFT, you have your underlying value. They can buy it, come in here. They may already have a C-folio, and then they can take that and use this manager and add it into their C-folio and start earning yield.
The gamification of this is huge, man. There's a lot of incentive to actually be proactive rather than passive.
Correct. And that's the thing that I always didn't like about DeFi. Great.
Yeah, man, you're just passive. You don't have to do anything. And I'm like, bro, you got to be on top of your shit here, bro. There's no such thing as passive.
Yeah.
And it's also not that fun. I mean,
it is no fun. You're right.
You put it in there and you just write, and you just watch maybe every 2 days something goes up and you're like, great. That's it. And they'll do all this sort of thing, protocol, blah, blah, blah. Well, but it's just why? It's like, it's so boring.
Right.
So this is, it's super proactive.
Well, I like the reward incentive too, the gamification layer, not so much even the monetized financial layer. Is like you could get one of these early mints, be like you said, they're limited to 100. So, if you're like the first few people to start, doing the proactive means of these, you could be minting the earlier, batches of these NFTs.
Yeah.
Correct. And what's even better as well, once we've launched this, we're then going to be launching the upgrades. So the upgrades are what will then incentivize users to go, okay, we've got 4 levels of C folios, and each level of C folio gives you a profit share of the pool. Now, we've released 1 and 2, but within those levels of 1 and 2, you can increase your profit share by using upgrades. So the upgrades are going to be cool things like, for Gorgon Deco, we're going to have an 80s mobile phone, and it's going to be an 80s mobile phone upgrade NFT. And that bad boy, you buy that, stick it in with your Gordon Gecko, and his profit share is going to go up. He's got a badass 80s mobile phone, and then we can do limited editions one. It's going to be the gold-plated one. Great. These are just collectibles in their own entirety, but they work within the DeFi environment that we created. And then we're going to have people trading the NFT upgrades. People are just going to end up.
Well, that's why I keep going to bonds, Tristan, because imagine if the U.S. government, when we were doing those peace bonds, would reach out to artists and have limited edition exclusive peace bonds made by, these well-known artists. They would have value in their own right as a piece of art backed by the bond that it was. So, the layers that we're giving, financial sectors using smart contracts to tie it to art is a whole level of scarcity banks wish they could play with.
What about, though, is there an eventual idiocracy element to this too, where you have people designing all of our money and society eventually devolves?
Tristan, what do we do when we have all the memers making versions of Wolves of Wall Street, but it's Pepe's of Wall Street? What do we do?
Yeah, well, look, it's inevitable, and unfortunately, you cannot. It's the more stupid finance gets, like the real boring finance gets, the more people are going to be pushing meme coins and meme representations of bonds and trying to fuck with the system. That's just where it is. The more financial systems fuck us, the more they're going to get fucked back, and these are the tools that people are going to use to do that.
Yeah,
so
interaction is what makes a meme valuable, and since you guys are facilitating a high volume of interaction, because you have a platform, not just a product, I think that's what's going to make you successful. Exactly. And I can see a lot of people copying it as well.
Right, you don't have customers, you have community members. There's a huge difference.
Users, real users.
Yeah. So I guess we want to keep on track here with the project. So I guess we were mentioning, there's that breakdown where you can go and divide not just everything out of your NFTs, but just your USDCs or specific aspects of it. What comes after this?
So once we've launched the staking and the yield farming, and the next one will be the upgrade. So then that will start bringing the gamification elements. So people are going to be able to trade and buy upgrades to basically increase their profit share.
All right.
But what will happen after that is we most likely want to be looking at the full gamification, which is the competition between the wolves and the boys for the booster pool. So the booster pool is where once you started compounding profit with yield and staking, you want to essentially make more of that. You want to compound that profit. But the boys do it in a way by putting their profit into the 4 times booster pool, which will be a very kind of, I'd say standard, but it will be a set way of doing it. The longer they stay in the pool, the more they get. Great. The boys get to do that. The wolves aren't a part of that party, but what they do is
he said
raid. I know. I was literally waiting for you to say that. They're going to be raiding. So the wolves are going to be raiding the booster pool, and the boys are going to have to defend it. So that's where we start getting the gamification. And as I think mentioned last week, we will be looking to we are looking at Binance Chain for the gamification, because we actually want the gamification to be much more than the raiding and defending. We want to, if we're on Binance Chain, we want that interaction where you can actually start playing. And we're again, this is not confirmed, but we will probably create a unique token specifically for the gamification on Binance Chain that will allow essentially people to swap WOWs for
I would hope so. I definitely would encourage it. I don't see any problem with utility tokens with specific utilities exchangeable for either the other utilities, securities, or even DAOs. governance tokens,
Well, this is
having
it.
different
Yeah.
assets with different use cases specifically niched in mind keeps the projects cleaner, in my opinion.
Correct. That's exactly it. And that's why I felt it's such a good idea with the Binance chain, because Binance chain is like, okay, they're just gargantuan, but as a full solution for everything we're doing, they're not right, because they're getting to suffer the same problems that Ethereum is
Same with
suffering from.
Ethereum, exactly. Every blockchain is going to fit a specific use case. I guess this is why I wanted to let you have a chance to talk before we open the AMA up, because I had a feeling you would probably end up answering a lot of the questions before they even were asked. So I guess let me know when you're ready to wrap the explanation up, and we can open the AMA
that's
up
it.
to
I
the
mean, I
audience.
think I've yapped on enough, man. Just unleash whatever questions.
So I guess you answered this question. Obviously, the first question at the very top, I don't even have to scroll up. Somebody was asking, what kind of utility could you bring if you were to use a blockchain like Binance, and that's where you're talking about the gamification. Other people in the chat have already been asking this, so I'm curious what your thoughts are on any possibilities on how Wolves of Wall Street could use the Wax blockchain in maybe just like a collectible series outside of the financial, C-folios and, the things that we're doing in the Ethereum or Binance side. Is there any way that you could see Wolves of Wall Street utilizing the Wax blockchain for a collectible series?
Yeah, I'd like that. I mean, our original partners from the get-go are, NFT Army. Obviously, those guys, big on Wax. We want to help those guys out and represent on Wax as well. So I can definitely see some kind of collectibles, especially when we start doing, kind of different characters and representing the different characters. I can see, Ken Bozak, frickin' wolf out there. I can see, it could be anything. Werewolf, it could be whatever. Absolutely, because it's all about bringing awareness and just spreading kind of brand awareness, and also giving back to communities that really support us. And Wax Chain is definitely one of them.
So I have a question from Steve R82 saying, do I have this right? You can buy a card, stake it, by card I'm assuming NFT, stake it, earn rewards, and when you want to pull those rewards out, you mint a new NFT that hits your wallet. Now, is it possible to burn that NFT to get the USDC directly out if you cannot sell that NFT?
that was a long. I was following it, and then it was like at the very end.
Can you unwrap the NFTs to get the currencies out of them, or are they permanently locked into it?
Yes, you can. Yes, but again, we wouldn't recommend it. But yes, you can. So
on a piece of scarce art, kind of stupid.
Yeah. So essentially, what would happen there is you would burn the NFT and you'd get your underlying whatever it was, whether it was ETH WOWs or your underlying DAI, and you get that back. But the problem is you'd be burning that NFT, and you're just burning money literally, because that won't go back into the original supply. It will be one of 99, and if you burn it, it will stay one of 99. You know what I mean? So it's like, Dad, please don't do that, but we give you the option. And actually on the designs that we have, that option is in black. It's like a black button, and it's kind of like destroy NFT. It does what it says on the tin. Yeah, you don't want to do it, but yeah, you can.
There was a question up earlier about collaborations with other projects or potential other games, NFT projects that have used gamification. Are there any projects or NFT games or anything that you would like to see collaborate, or how would you envision a Wolves of Wall Street collaboration with another NFT project if that was a possibility?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a good question. And whilst we are talking to another project, and this has been discussed in our community before, so people probably know what I'm talking about, but I can't talk specifics, but they are a project that's actually, they're almost a DeFi project that's using NFTs in a similar way-ish, but we're in talks, because I used to work for them. So kind of like, we're good friends. So that is a partnership, but it's more on the DeFi side of things, even though they're utilizing NFT. So that is definitely one that's on a horizon. Another one we may be talking to, and again, this is out there, but it's a platform for selling NFTs, because we're going to want artists. We're going to want artists that come in that can create their own C-folio from their own artwork. Yeah, just come, and that's what we want, because they'll be, oh yeah, I've got this art. It's almost going to be a crypto folio as a service. So you're going to come in and you can then transform your artwork into a C-folio, and we're going to want different artists. We're also going to want different artists to represent the NFT upgrades and all this thing. We want to have a variety of cool artists that have got a following and whatnot. So it makes sense to talk to an NFT platform that already has those artists on board. That's a great partnership to have as well.
I hope you're listening, Pranksy. Pranksy portfolio, sign me up, bro. That would be hilarious. We have a question in the chat, and I'm not sure what IL means but whatever. You're smarter than me here. What can you do to combat or prevent IL during LP staking? IL.
Yeah, the whole loss thing. So essentially, ETH and WOW's native or ETH native token going out of sync. If one pumps and the other doesn't, you get the loss. Essentially, you get a loss of the balance in the balance pool. That is DeFi. That is one of the things, especially with pair staking. I think it's only specifically for pair staking that will occur.
No one talks about the negatives ever.
Yeah, but it's just it's part and parcel. And obviously, when our price jumped, we had people having that issue. Well, all I would say is the NFTs give you a layer of protection, because that's the layer of value that doesn't have to suffer from any of that shenanigans. So you will always have a layer of value of, if your NFT, ETH WOW's NFT, if you have that, you're going to have the value of the rare NFT on top of that, giving you another level of value. So that, I would say, is the best solution for sure.
All right, last question here, because Nathan has a really important business meeting, and he's become too much of an important person. He's too big for the show now. He's outgrown me. It's insane. So last question coming in. Actually, two, I guess. We'll make these quick. Says, I want some cheap puppies, wolves for dummies, so we can experiment with it. So I guess I'll rephrase that question or statement in the form of a question. Is it possible to develop a test network or some kind of offline version of this where it's have you ever heard of Best Broker? It's like a fake stock market game. So people could play the game without actually using the money up front and get comfortable with it, sort of like a demo. When you play like Call of Duty, they walk you through a demo. So somebody in the chat was asking about that, and I'll let you get a chance on that.
I mean, obviously we actually do our testing on exactly. I mean, that's why Ethereum has all those like Rinkeby. There's basically test nets, test chains, which allow you to just switch your wallet to Rinkeby, which then allows you to say, okay, I want $10,000 worth of ETH. I want $5,000 of WOWs, and you can actually just do exactly what you would do, and it does exactly what it does, but it's all fake crypto. So that is possible. We use it for testing because that's what you do for testing. But interesting to actually maybe open like one element of it to the public so they can actually do that and show them how to do it. Because it's literally, you have your MetaMask wallet and you just change it to Rinkeby. There's about 5 others, but Rinkeby is one of the big ones. You go to a faucet, which is essentially a tap, which just gives you freaking ETH, WOWs, happy days, and then you can actually play around. So that is a potential for sure. Yeah.
All right, and last question, because I know I'm taking Nathan away from Superworld, so I'm going to tie Superworld into this. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this a question more for Nathan than you. But wouldn't it be possible
I
for
like
Wolves
it.
of Wall Street to do something in Super World where they could actually hang these pieces of art up in front of the New York Stock Exchange and take over Wall Street, you know?
So I could see a whole nother world of gamification opening this up. And that's from, people kind of accessing things through their phone in virtual reality, augmented reality, or even going and being activated at certain like physical locations. Or interacting with like even products in the future that might interact with your brand, or like there's just going to be ways to build everything on top of one another, and it's going to open up just like worlds of possibilities. We're in Miami right now. If you could like put some NFTs down the beach and stuff, and you pay advertisers to kind of like or they pay you to advertise near your stuff because it's going to attract people. Like it opens up all kind of interesting things,
right? Because we could have a Wolves versus Boys, potluck. Whichever district ends up earning the most would end up having their NFT displayed in like New York's Times Square, which could potentially bring more value to the art side of it because it's like getting your art put on a billboard on the highway.
Yeah.
So what Super World is doing is something potential, that could bring a billboard-like marketing value to the art aspect of these NFTs.
Yeah, just imagine a world where like we all like Pokemon Go. Like,
Pokemon Go by Wolves of Wall Street.
Yeah, Pokemon Go everything. Like this is the next 1,000 possible iterations of that same thing. You could have like a Wolves and a Boys scavenger hunt. Whoever collects the most NFTs that maybe don't really have a value, just like collectible, like they get to split like a master pool, like a prize pool or something, or a prize pool of your products in general. Or like kids that display their flag over the city, like, hey, we own this for now.
So I guess like what I was getting at is Wolves of Wall Street could be the first bank of Ready Player One.
Absolutely.
But it is. We said it last time. It's like freaking real estate, Super World real estate. Put it in your SFTs. You're now collecting collections of major cities around the world or wherever. It's just like, or it could be our representations within those prime real estate, and then those are then put into
subletting.
And if you look at a lot of like modern financial products, you'll have investments from the tech side, the crypto side, even the real estate side. And these funds hold like all these different assets, and you're just buying a portion of it to kind of like,
But that's the thing, because the point is that's where we're heading. That's the very end of our roadmap is real world assets. So tokenized synthetics like, property.
I wish you were here last night. Rick Ross was selling a Lambo or something?
Yeah, it was a Porsche.
A Porsche for 1.5 million or something like that.
Crazy.
So you probably could have got him to put that into a C-Folio instead. He would have done better off.
He was trying to get in to talk to Ken, and I was like, dude, we can't let you
I was too busy. Sorry, Ross.
I told him, I was like, I know we're cool, but I just can't let you.
All right, Tristan, I'm going to wrap things up here. Dogecoin Kid said, it was a Porsche 911. Yeah, it was. It was beautifully painted. I do dig it. The body didn't match the paint, but the paint was still nice.
I love that.
Nathan's like,
yeah. So, Tristan, let people know a little bit, real quick, wrap things up here, where they can go to join the community and get more information from the team.
Yeah, you're always dropping that Telegram chat. The URL of it. What is the URL? It is telegram.me/Wolves Wall Street. One freaking word. And obviously app.wows.finance is where you can buy our C-folios, and wows.finance is our marketing site. And we will be changing the marketing site because I'm going to be dropping some videos which are going to be they're done. Essentially how the C-folios work in a, easy to understand, hopefully way that's going to, just be a 1-minute little thing. So yeah, we'll be dropping those on the marketing site in the community and get involved. And we'd love to have you.
So it's Wolves Wall Street in Telegram. Go ahead and join, and I'll see you guys in the Telegram. Tristan, thanks again for your time. This guy's got to literally sprint out the door. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Much appreciated, bros. As always, have a day.
Catch you later. Bye.
Hello, happy bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Ken Bozak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Ken Bosak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. 'Cause I'm Ken bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get some Ken Bosak.